From infancy, I grew up in a broken home, and although my dad had visitation, my mom did everything she could to keep me from seeing him. I grew up in a household where sex was the main form of currency. Under the disguise of my mother's massage business, she sold me as a child sex slave from the age of 6 until I was 12. No one knew what was going on behind our home doors. And although the police were constantly in and out of our lives for various different reasons, no one seemed to recognize the slavery I was captive in or the torture I endured. I don't know if it was because no one knew what to recognize, or maybe it was just a belief that it couldn't happen, but still I went unnoticed by the very people with the best ability and resources to help me. If you were one of the police officers who had met me when I was 10, you would have met a very shy, scared little girl. She would have stood, feet turned in, head down, avoiding eye contact at all costs. She would have been terrified of you and would have avoided talking or answering any of your questions, constantly looking to her mom for the answers. If pushed, she would have either cowered or become aggressive. You see, she had been taught that the police were the abusers, and that lie would have been backed up as she was bought by the Johns that sometimes included those in the judicial system. My probation officer met an intelligent girl with no identity, lost, confused, and full of contradiction. A young lady, soft on the inside, trying desperately to act tough on the outside. And somewhat unsure how she got herself into a situation where she felt forced to break the law. But my probation officer changed my life. She saw the girl underneath the facade. She encouraged me by calling out in me who I was and who I could be. She never let my crimes define who I was in her eyes. Even though I didn't believe her at the time, her words always stuck with me. For the first time, I wasn't treated like a criminal or a victim. Instead, I was treated like a human. She was the first to be willing to put aside judgment, statistics, and stereotypes to see the me that was hidden behind the wall of pain I had put up on the outside.